with McKesson Health Mart. And I help to support McKesson customers and sales teams acting as a business consultant for all of McKesson solutions, and really helping our independent pharmacies to thrive. Well, I'm here today with Cass, and I'll have Cass go ahead and introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about why you started out with the weight management program.
Okay, that wasn't the first question I thought you were going to ask me. So, my husband and I, we have 5 retail pharmacies in Northeast Arkansas. My husband is a pharmacist, his dad is a pharmacist, and we bought the family business from his dad when he retired in 2018. So when Kyle decided to go to pharmacy school, his dad had one store, and he had opened that store the year that Kyle was born. So the first store is 51 years old now. And then when he decided to go to pharmacy school, they made plans to expand. And now we have 5 stores. We have one larger store in a more metropolitan area, and then we have 4 stores that are in more rural areas. And we honestly, we just got into the weight management because, like everybody else, we were looking for additional revenue streams.
Yeah, for sure. So what kind of inspired that? What was one story that kind of inspired you to go that way? And then what kind of challenges did you encounter along the way?
Well, we love to go to trade shows. I felt like when we come to things like this, we always get great ideas. And so it was in one of these trade shows where we meet lots of cool vendors, and we heard about the Ideal Protein weight loss program. And so we signed up for it. Like I think a lot of y'all do. Y'all sign up for things here because everything sounds so good. And then you get back home and you're like, okay, what am I going to do with this now? So we go back home and we picked this because we knew we wanted to add something, but we wanted it to be a high quality product and service that was going to not only increase our revenue, but also make sure that it was something good for our patients that would add value for them. And so we thought weight loss would be a great way to go. So we sign up for the program, we get home, and we say, okay, we're going to take an existing employee that we already have in the pharmacy, and we're going to just train her to do this, and we're going to cross our fingers and hope it works. And you can imagine how that went. It went terrible. It never got off the ground, and we just kind of let it dwindle. And so for a long time, we didn't do anything with the weight loss program. And then one day our phone rang, and it was Ideal Protein headquarters. They had one of their top health coaches. She was getting transferred because of her husband's job. She was moving to our area, and they said, she will be great. We see that y'all are already signed up to do the Ideal Protein coaching, and so would y'all mind to hire her and let her work out of your pharmacy? And so we were like, I don't know. This didn't really work great the first time we tried it. And they said, we assure you she's done it before. She worked out of the Heart Hospital in Little Rock, Arkansas. They said she's got a great following over there. She's done great with it. So we looked at it and we thought, well, it was really more of a salary than what we would normally hire someone on that's not a pharmacist. And I mean, it's more usually than what we pay our technicians. So we thought, well, do we want to invest in that much salary? Because it was kind of a big risk. And so we thought, well, we'll try it for 6 months. We'll see how it goes. And we set her up on a salary plus commission basis, so that she had a little skin in the game, and she had a little bit more willingness to bring in new business.
Gotcha.
And when she got in there, it made all the difference in the world. That girl knew what she was doing, and before long, we were having to add health coaches. So she probably had 3 or 4 different coaches working under her, probably at our highest point in that program.
Well, I'll tell you what I like about that story. First of all, you tried something new. And as you all know, this is a very difficult thing to do, is to put yourself out there and try something new. But then it doesn't work. right? So now you kind of put back and you're like, okay, do we just forget about it and move on and get back to normal business, or should we try it again? And something presented itself to you, and you had the nerve and you had the wherewithal to say, all right, let's try it again. And you put some guardrails in place with time and so on, and lo and behold, worked well. And congratulations on that.
Well, thank you.
Nice job. So what year was that?
Oh gosh. Pre-COVID.
Pre-COVID.
I don't really know what year it was.
All right, so but that's
pre-COVID.
okay. So pre-COVID. So COVID comes, then what? Because I'm sure you had some challenges there.
We had all kinds of challenges there because the whole program, Idle Protein is very structured in the way they want their health coaches to do things. They've laxed up a little bit now, but back then it was very regimented, and so everything we did was in person. The people came into the pharmacy for their weigh-ins. They had to bring in their food journals. Somebody took a measuring tape and measured the people. There was just a lot that went into it.
Yeah.
It was all in person, and they picked up their food while they were there. And so all of that went away basically overnight. And we were doing really well with it. And so Kyle looked at her and he said, you're going to have to figure out how to make this work, and you're going to have to do it fast.
Yeah.
And luckily for us, I mean, she's just a go-getter, and she was smart enough that in no time, she had worked out a whole new process to basically make it like no patient contact. So now we do everything virtually, and Zoom wasn't even a thing back then because Zoom kind of came out of COVID, and so she was using FaceTime and phone calls, kind of old school, and instead of having to bring in their journal with their food entries on it, they would take a photo and text it to her. And so Aldo Protein has these scales, and we used to have just one of them in our clinic, and they get on it and it connects up to their profile in the Aldo Protein portal, and so it measures hydration, their weight, and a couple other things, I think, maybe body fat, and it sends it to your profile so that you can't lie about your weight.
Yeah.
And so we bought a whole bunch of those scales, and then we sold them to our customers, which was a good profit for us. Like, so you want to keep doing the program, you got to buy the scale. So they had their own scales at home, and their weights got sent through that. And so it basically became 100% from 100% like in person to 100% virtual.
Yeah. So it sounds to me like, so you started off this program very manual, very in person, and then it magically turns into remote patient monitoring. Really, right? I mean, because
Basically, yes.
that information is being transmitted and it's being reviewed. So now you're doing all this great stuff. COVID-19, we get past it. Life is starting to return to normal. Everything looks good, and then GLPs are like blowing up. So another wrench thrown in, right? So what do you do then?
Well, that was actually a bigger hurdle to jump than COVID-19 for us, because I mean it hit us right where we were. Like, I mean, it was targeting our same patient, and if you can take a shot the easy way, or if you have to have this very regimented meal plan, I mean, which one are people going to choose? They're going to choose the easy way. And so that's the point where we kind of took our wellness side and we said we've got to add some more tools to our toolbox so that we can stay relevant. And the first thing that we added was Keto 5, and it's an exogenous ketone product, and you can take that along with GLP-1s, and it actually has other health benefits other than just losing weight. It's got some cognitive benefits, and it's also got some athletic performance recovery benefits. So that worked out really well when we added that. And
how is that sort of way getting into holistic medicine, holistic wellness? How has that expanded?
Well, it's expanding great. We've continued to add things along when we were dealing with, like, you know, what are we going to do to keep revenue coming when we had the GLP-1 crisis, I guess, for us. We started also doing coaching for other clinics, and so we had invested in the health coaches. We had them on our payroll. And so they started getting other pharmacies signed up underneath them, basically, just to do the coaching. And then, so, like, say if somebody wanted to sign up, they're like, I don't want to hire a health coach or I can't afford it. We would do the coaching and we would ship food to their patients.
Wow.
And then we would, there's a pricing structure that goes into it if you want to do it that way. But we do that. And then we also started adding on just warehousing, because some people might want to do the coaching, but they don't want to have to stock product at their pharmacy. So we actually have a warehouse in Jonesboro, and so you can use us as your warehouse and
Awesome.
kind of split costs.
And what's been the patient response to all this? Because in the end, we want to be patient-centered, patient-focused, right? So what have the patients had to say about it?
I think they've all liked it better, and we actually, like, everything that we did during COVID, we have kept those all in place, because when we came out of COVID, everybody basically decided that they don't like in-person contact. They want to do everything on their phone and use DoorDash and, everything online. So it's just worked out a lot better. We built some infrastructure in, where we can do that. And now it expanded our customer base, because not only can we service in-town patients or people that live close enough to drive to the pharmacy to pick their food up, we can have people from all over the country. And we do. We've got people that will just randomly hear about us when they do a Google search. And we also have coaches that live in other towns. We've got some coaches, one that lives in Colorado and one that lives in Texas. So
That's great. That's great to hear. One of the things that I'm thinking about as I hear your story is that you started off in one place, different things got in the way for different reasons, and you just kept on building and building and building. And now you've built to this place where, hey, there are going to be additional building blocks that you can keep on doing, seeing what's out there in the world, seeing what patients need, and adding to it. So I really want to thank you for that. What's next for your wellness program?
Well, the thing that we've just added, and we've just been doing it for about 6 to 8 months, is our menopausal line. And I was personally really excited about this because that's the stage of life I'm in. And so I was anxious to try it for myself. But also, it's just such a hot topic in the U.S. right now with Mary Claire Haber's books. And I feel like everywhere you go, like, I just see stuff about menopause. So it was a UK product, and we're one of the test sites, one of the pilot clinics for this. It's called M-Powder, and it's a supplement line for women going through menopause. And we actually heard about this through our connection with Ideal Protein, because they wanted to come into the U.S. With a coaching component. And so at some trade show they were at, they heard about Ideal Protein, and they said, we're going to hook up with those folks over there and see if they want to be our test subjects. And so it's been great. They've really been a value add to our pharmacy and that part of the business. It's all scientifically driven. They have a lot of clinical trials that they've done on the products. So they're not just something somebody threw together and slapped a menopause label on it. It really works. I take it myself every day. And that company provides a whole lot of support. And with everything from clinical support to social media assets. They've just been a great partner for our business. And then the next thing we're looking into is peptides, but that's kind of in the planning phases right now.
I think what I'm seeing though is that you're identifying needs in the community. If you're saying, hey, everywhere you look, there's something about menopause going on, and we know that there are going to be people in different stages of life, and you're identifying these things and then finding a way to help your patients through the situation. And I think that's what we have to think about a lot. How are we going to continue to work together in the communities that we serve to help to continue to serve our patients in the way that they need to be served and want to be served? So I really appreciate that. Now, if I decide that I'm going to open a pharmacy tomorrow and start a weight management program, what advice do you have for me? Like, what advice do you have for all of the pharmacy owners out here today?
think it goes from our first mistake, and it's don't try to do it yourself. Because I know, and just like all of y'all know, pharmacists try to just take on everything. We try to do too much, and we say, well, I can handle that. And I think this is one of the places where you can't handle it. Like when we tried to handle it ourselves, it did not work. And then the minute we got a health coach that was trained, she knew what she was doing, she was good at selling products too. Like she's a great upseller. And so find somebody like that that really knows what they're doing and invest in them, and they will make it go a lot further than you could make it go on your own. And also just anything that can take time off of, save time for the pharmacist. I think that's a win-win for all of us. And then another thing that I would say is just be prepared to pivot, like you talked about. Like we would try something, it wouldn't work. And you can't throw up your hands and say, okay, well, I'm done with that. You've got to just think about the product or problem and say, okay, what can we change about this to make it work? And our girls are really great about that.
Yeah, it sounds to me like you're really open to trying new things, failing. Granted, it never feels good, right? Never feels good to fail. But then learning from that failure, trying something new, and just keeping that process going. And I'm really proud of you for doing these things, getting through, and persevering, because that perseverance is what pays off for our patients. So really appreciate you for that.
We really enjoy being able to help the patients and see how grateful they are when, it just makes you feel good. Because a lot of the stuff we deal with day to day is reimbursements and insurance and people's co-pays, and they're mad. And when you are able to help somebody on a wellness side, like prevent something before it happens, those people are so happy, and it just makes me feel good to see a little bit of that coming in amongst all the negative.
That's great. So, as far as the folks that are involved with the program, you mentioned you don't want the pharmacist to do it all, right? So, what types of individuals? You mentioned the coaches. What other types of individuals are being utilized in the program to help it to continue to succeed?
You mean what kind of people do we have on our team?
Yeah, right. Like different. Is it pharmacy technicians? Are there healthcare concierges? Like what types of folks are you?
We do have a healthcare concierge. Impowder actually has their own built into that. So if it's something that our health coach can't solve, then they can go book an appointment with the healthcare concierge. In the Ideal Protein, how it works is, so the health coach will do an intake, and as part of that, the patient will list out all their drugs, and a pharmacist will go over that med list and make sure that there are no contraindications. But also, we can reach out to the doctor. So say they're on blood pressure medicine or a diabetes medicine and they lose 60 pounds, and then it's time to lower their dosage because maybe that's too high for them now. Like part of the programs that we will reach out to the doctor and talk to them about it. So there's a pharmacist involved in that part of the process. But then we also have a warehouse and we have shipping people.
So I think the bottom line is it takes a team, right? You can't do it all by yourself.
Yes.
Especially as you continue to grow, it just takes a lot of folks that do a lot of things well, but put the patient first. So with that, thanks, Cass. I do want to open it up for questions from the audience. What questions do you have for Cass? All good? Well, thank you so much for sharing your valuable stories. I think those wins help us to know that pharmacists can do more and can lead teams to do more for our community. So we're so grateful and that you're willing to share this, and enjoyed talking to you very much. Thanks.
Thanks for having me. I've enjoyed it.
Great.